Welcome to Mountain West Financial's second session of our 6th webinar series on setting yourself up for success. Today's presenters are Mountain West Financial CR Specialist Tiffany Haid and Marketing Manager Laura Martell. Tiffany Haid has been with Mountain West Financial for over 5 years and holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Business with emphasis in marketing from the California State University of Long Beach. She currently is the Public Relations and Social Media Specialist at Mountain West Financial. Laura Martell has been with Mountain West Financial for 14 years. She is our Marketing Manager. Prior to being the Marketing Manager, she worked in several other departments, including underwriting, funding, production for our retail and wholesale, post-closing, appraisal, disclosures, compliance, and administration. A well-rounded understanding of the mortgage process that she uses to support our sales team. Laura received a BFA in graphic design from Cal Poly Pomona. Okay, so before we get started, I wanted to show you guys our panel where you can access some attachments that we have from the marketing department. And if you drop down the section where it says handouts, you'll see there are 3 of 5 handouts. Now, within there, you can also input any questions you may have. Please know that you are muted currently, but as soon as we get done with the presentation, we'll open the floor for some questions. And during the presentation, if you have any questions, please go ahead and input them in the questions chat panel. So we'll go ahead and get started. Tiffany?
Thank you. Thank you, Angela. In today's fast-paced mortgage industry, you are generally doing whatever it takes to grow and simultaneously manage your current business by helping your clients, realtors, and referral partners. While you know social media is important, sometimes your time just can't be stretched any further. How can you possibly add another item to your to-do list? But these days, you can't afford not to be on social media because it's one of the best ways of connecting and building relationships with your clients and prospects. That's what I'm going to show you today, how to use social media effectively and with limited resources to market your small business.
Thanks, Tiff. So before we get started today, my name's Laura, but I wanted to just take a little bit of a temperature of our attendees today. So I'm going to pop up a couple of poll questions. The first one is, how many social media platforms are you active on? Go ahead and click on your screen. We're looking to see if you are active on 1, 2, or 3 or more. We're going to leave that open just for a couple seconds. Looks like we have some results coming in. It's really all over the board, so we'll share with you those results here in just a second. Give you guys just another second here. All right, so let me close this one out. So I believe you guys are able to see that on screen. But the breakdown of our audience today, 29% manage 1, 29% manage 2, and 41% manage 3 or more. That's really great information. I think you guys will learn a lot from what Tiffany has presented today. So one more, we want to know, how often do you post on your social media pages? Once a month, once a week, once a day, or multiple times per day? Give you guys just another minute here to get those answers in. Again, really spread out. All right, looks like we have a majority of people who have answered. So 39% say that they only post once a month, 33% say once a week, 11% say once a day, and 17% say multiple times per day. So I think, really based off what I've seen Tiffany's presentation have today, everybody who's in any of these categories will definitely be able to take something away to being able to manage your social media platform and get more out of it in a more simple and streamlined way. So Tiff, let me pass it back over to you.
Thank you, Laura. So let's start with, what is social media? Many people answer that by saying Facebook. And while there are 1.5 billion people on Facebook, social media is a lot more than that. Social media is word of mouth on steroids. It gives you a way to connect and build relationships with your clients and referral partners, but it's not a hard sell like many ads you see. It's more of a conversation type of marketing. Some people think social media is just another channel you can use to talk about your business, and that's the wrong approach. Social media is a great way to share your knowledge as a mortgage broker, connect with other businesses in your community, build brand awareness, answer client questions, and more. It is also all about the clients and referral partners and how you can help them. It's about adding value and sharing your expertise. If you're successful on social media, you'll have an opportunity to interact with your clients one-on-one, deepen your relationships, and earn their trust even when they're not on your website or in your office. What is your online presence? An online presence is the sum of all the identities you've created. This can be both personal and business-driven, and the interactions those identities have established and participated in online. Your online presence has a very broad reach, and when built successfully, it can spread brand awareness and gain you fans, followers, leads, and customers. Try Googling yourself to see what comes up. This is what your clients see when they look you up. One question I get asked a lot is, how do I rank higher on Google and on social media sites? There are about 200 ranking factors in Google's algorithm that determine where pages rank. Some of them include the age of the domain name, keywords, content length, duplicate content, page loading speed, content updates, grammar and spelling, broken links, contact us page, and more. The other factor is organic traffic, which traffic you push there from Facebook, your emails, blogs, etc. A combination of all of these factors determines where you rank. Small steps over time get you to rank higher and ways to organically grow your traffic. Social media marketing is based on 4 pillars: your audience, your resources, your goals, and your social media plan. It works best when you blend it with other marketing programs. These days you hear the term integrated marketing a lot. But what does integration mean? Integration is simply a way to combine your various marketing activities in a strategic way. You've probably heard the expression, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. With integrated marketing, all the parts of your marketing plan are designed to build on each other and create a consistent story that reaches your customers throughout the day. So what's the best way to reach your clients and referral partners? Which social and traditional media channels do they use, and where would they be most receptive in getting a message from you? Put yourself in their shoes and map their day to understand the best times and channels to reach them and help them solve a problem. And be sure your social media content is consistent with your brand personality, so customers get a clear picture of you wherever they are. What are your goals? These include both short and long term. Next, you want to build your social media plan. This includes defining a budget. Social media isn't free, even if you're posting updates and photos to a social network or producing and uploading short videos. All of that takes away from the time you could be doing something else related to your business. You have to balance your resources, and you'll need to put money aside for things like Google AdWords or promoted posts to boost the reach of some of your best updates. Social media, like other marketing initiatives, requires energy, planning, and resources. When it comes to adding social media to your marketing mix, every business has to figure out the right mix of social and traditional programs that work best for them. It takes time to grow your social network, and you may not see the results overnight. Social media marketing is a marathon, and you're in it for the long haul. So what are the benefits of social media marketing? Depending on your goals, some of the benefits can include increased exposure, increased traffic to your website, developing loyal customers, realtors, and referral partners, generating more leads, improved search rankings, improved sales, and more. According to the 2017 National Housing Forecast, they are forecasting the homeownership rate will stabilize at 63.5% in 2017. New home sales are expected to grow 10%, while new home builds are expected to increase 3%. During this year, the housing market will be in the middle of two massive demographic waves, the millennials and the baby boomers, that will power demand for at least the next 10 years. Although increasing interest rates have prompted Realtor.com to lower its prediction of millennial market share to 33% of the buyer pool, millennials and baby boomers will still comprise the majority of the market. Baby boomers are expected to make up 30% of buyers in 2017, and given they're less dependent on financing, they are expected to be more successful when it comes to closing. With these stats, it's even more important to use social media as a great communication tool with your potential clients. One of the greatest things about the internet is that it allows you to be everywhere. But being social doesn't mean you have to have a Facebook page, Twitter profile, Google Plus profile, Pinterest board, YouTube channel, LinkedIn profile, and so on. But being social does mean you have to have at least 2 or 3 of these profiles set up that you regularly post and engage on. If you're not able to manage your social channels by posting regularly and being part of the conversation, then it's going to be hard to increase your following and actually looks negative to have an empty page. Assess your current marketing efforts, identify where you want to improve, and build from there. Consistency here is key. Social media can be a great marketing tool to help you gain those initial fans and followers. And once you have those followers, it's also a great tool to reach those who know, like, and trust you. These days, most people are on at least one and likely more social media networks. While some folks post way too much information, you can use social media strategically to build awareness and deepen relationships with customers. The key is to pick the right platform for your audience and then create the type of content they can't get anywhere else. Here's a starter playlist on how to set up on all the major social networks if you'd like more information. Now let's think about your business. Which platforms would you choose? With over 1.6 billion people, Facebook has redefined the notion of mass media. These days, many companies use Facebook to post updates, advertise open houses or events, and publish news. Just remember, Facebook is a pay-to-play platform. Organic posts, that is your regular unpaid updates, don't have the same reach without paid promotion. To get the most out of paid promotion, select one of your posts that has good customer interaction. Figure out the audience you're trying to reach, add in a budget and time frame, then you can turn it into a promoted post and get a boost by paying to reach a wider audience. You can boost posts for as little as $5. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to boost every post, but keep in mind that you can have multiple posts boosted to different audiences with different messages. You can build target audiences by area, which may be a good idea if you're sharing information about an event or maybe a co-branded open house you're doing with your realtors. You can also build them by type, so maybe having criteria that would be your target market as far as clients go, and then have another one that is built to reach realtors. Does that sound like an ad? Well, it is. Facebook's really good at giving you automated suggestions for the content you want to promote, but you don't have to take all of their advice. Use your best judgment on what you think your audience will like.
Real fast tipping on that note, I've noticed when I have on my Facebook, when someone posts they had a closing with a client and they show a picture of the house and their family, I mean, it shows that they're compassionate about their business, that they're compassionate about making homeowners. So it's a positive thing, I think, and it's a free thing like she mentioned. So if you need more information about that, please reach out to us and we can help you how to do that.
Yes, that's a great example. Thank you, Ange. Okay, next we have a few other social networks. Instagram, a mobile-first app owned by Facebook, is a photo sharing site. With 500 million active monthly users, they share an average of 95 million photos and videos per day and like 4.2 billion posts per day. 37% of users are between the ages of 18 to 29, and 18% are between 30 and 49. As for business, Instagram is used by 48.8% of brands to market, a number that is expected to rise to 70.7% by 2017. Therefore, creating a look for your brand on Instagram can give your content an identity and recognition. Keep your images creative and non-commercial, such as fun behind-the-scenes shots of your staff can work well. Does engagement on Instagram mean consumers are becoming more aware of your brand? According to Instagram statistics, 50% of Instagram users follow at least one business. 60% say that they learn about a product or service on the platform, and 75% of Instagram users take action, such as visiting a website after looking at an Instagram advertising post. Therefore, Instagram is the statistically sound place to invest your time and energy in 2017. Twitter is a micro-blogging service and real-time news feed and can be a great place to interact with customers. Many businesses use it as their primary customer service platform. Adding a photo or video to your tweet gives it more impact because it shows up in a stream as a card and breaks through the noise of just text. It is also a great way to learn buyer habits, likes and dislikes, and trending topics of interest for home buyers. LinkedIn is like the Wall Street Journal of the social media world. With over 460 million monthly users, it's a great place for business people to connect, network, and share updates. This can be a way to reach realtors and other industry professionals, and because LinkedIn is more business-based, you need to cater your message to that audience. YouTube isn't really a social network, but it's a place to showcase your videos. Be sure to optimize your channel with your branding and a description of your video in the More section to help it show up in Google searches. YouTube is owned by Google, which also owns the platform Google+, and while fewer people are on Google+, posting updates there may not reach your customers, but it could boost your SEO. You can also boost and host videos on YouTube to share on your different social media channels or possibly on your website. Pinterest is a lot like a scrapbook, a place for aspirational images about fashion, home decor, entertainment, and more. While a majority of its users are women, this would give you more of an insight into what they're looking for through popular hashtags. One of the benefits of Pinterest is that the image you use points back to the source, so it can be a great driver of traffic to your website.
And just before we skip off here, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, those all allow you to build audiences and be able to post boosted content on it. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So that's a great way to get in front of either new audiences or further into the audiences that you're already connected with. I know Tiffany looked at the, when we go back one slide, on the Facebook, how you could target people through location, age, gender, and interest. I know one of the other things you could do, at least through Facebook, I'm not certain of the other ones, is connect with friends of your friends, fans, followers, however they're connected to your page. So not only can you reach specific audiences, maybe building out a boosted post for VA home loans or USDA home loans or some home buyer campaigns by age, or you can kind of make some educated guesses at the people that you want to get in front of. But you can also look at their interests, and you can look at, again, just as they're connected with your friends, and really get in a whole new group of audience for a very, very low price point. As far as marketing budget goes, this is really a great way to get in front of new people, but I will caution you, don't expect to see results overnight. A $5 boosted post, while it may bring you a lead, it certainly isn't guaranteed, but all of these are fantastic for name brand recognition, and with doing it consistently, you will start seeing results.
Thank you, Laura. A couple other things we have are blogs. Can also increase your online presence, with each article leaving a Google searchable footprint. 60% of marketers say blog content creation is their top inbound marketing priority. Companies that publish 16+ blog posts per month got almost 3.5 times more traffic than companies that only published 0 to 4 monthly posts. Another good tip is that titles with 6 to 13 words attracted the highest and most consistent amount of traffic. So what do you blog about? You can blog about industry, company, personal achievement updates, any networking events, state of the community, new programs, or any major changes. You can be written or in video format, and the bonus tip we have is that blog posts can be shared on social media and even emailed to your database for added exposure. A lot of people nowadays are talking about live stream video. Live streams are simply videos your customers can watch when they happen or later as an archive. Most live stream broadcasts occur on a mobile device. You could live stream from an app like Periscope or start broadcasting directly from Facebook. Live streams are a great way to showcase a new open house with your referral partner, or anytime you have a new product or industry update. Just remember, as with any marketing tactic, you shouldn't just wing it. If you want to live stream video, be sure to have a plan and rehearse your program before going on the air. This is just a small sampling of the terms you'll want to get familiar with as you dive into social media marketing. One thing's for certain, in social media, there's always something new to learn. So goals are like the destination to the great things you want your business to do, and they're a fundamental part of setting a strategy. And once you develop your goals, you need to establish a process to measure whether or not you're achieving them. Are social media goals different than general marketing goals? In principle, they're not. Many businesses use social media to support their marketing or business goals. The trouble is some people equate social media success with the number of likes their Facebook is getting, and that's the wrong approach. While you can measure likes, they're a soft metric. A like is a passive gesture, simply to the nod two acquaintances might share when they pass on the street. You're acknowledging the other person, but live well. Likes aren't effective goals because they're too brief. Instead, design your goals to measure outcomes. For instance, what action do you want your customer to take when they interact on your social media pages? Once your goals are set, you'll want to set up your analytics so that they track your social media campaigns, clients and referral partners' behaviors. That means figuring out the type of data you need to capture at the outset and the criteria you're using to measure success. Don't let yourself get lost in the popularity contest of likes. Social media, like all your marketing tactics, should be designed to move the business needle and help propel you to where you want to go. And if it's not doing that, then it's time to adjust. Say you want prospective customers to sign up for your newsletter in order to capture their email and start marketing to them. First, you need to create a landing page with content that entices people and encourages them to sign up. When that's done, you could generate a campaign URL with a tracking tag for that particular page. Then you could include that URL in a blog post or in their newsletter. This enables them to see how many people read the post, clicked on the link, and determine whether or not they signed up for a newsletter. You will also have to look at how you can interact and get in front of your clients. If your niche is a local community, see if they have a newsletter or a Facebook group. If you're looking at working with first-time home buyers, try sites like Google Answers or Lender 411's question portal. As you build your Facebook or LinkedIn followers, start posting links to blog articles you post on your website. While this has some effects that are immediate as far as getting your information out in front of new people, it also has longer lasting effects because over time, the more traffic you drive to your social media and company website, the higher they will begin to rank on Google. Where do your realtors spend their time to grow their business? How about your clients? From there, map their pain points. Keep in mind that these will most likely be different for prospects and referral partners. And figure out the kind of content you can create to help solve their problems when they need it. This can include a combination of blog posts, videos, visuals, white papers, and of course social media updates that help amplify your content and build community. Once you understand your customers' needs, you can start to figure out how to connect with them on various social media channels and develop your online personality. Social media marketing is a long-term commitment, so be sure you have the resources to maintain it. The most important thing to remember is to go where your customers are. Don't make them come to you. One of the most important things to consider when developing your social media plan is picking the best channels and times to connect with your customers. You can find out a lot about customer social media habits by listening and seeing where, when, and how they're most active. Observe whether they're using social media personally to connect with friends and family or if they also interact with brands. Get familiar with your customers' behavior by watching what they do on social media. You can also learn a lot about your customers' social media preferences by asking them directly. There are many ways to accomplish this. If you have a mailing list, you can ask them to complete a brief survey. You could write a short article in your company's e-newsletter and ask for comments. You can also check your competitors' channels. Because most social media is public, it's easy to see if your competitors' posts are getting comments and shares, or maybe they're just talking to themselves. Determine whether or not their content is working, and if not, figure out what you could do differently. Knowing that, which platform should you be on? It depends on what your customer is looking for and whether you can be helpful in a non-spammy way. Whichever social media platform you choose, remember you have to earn your customers' trust by showing and doing, not just telling, and that doesn't happen overnight. Then you will need to locate your content, which will need to provide value. From there, you will hopefully build lasting relationships. Let's start with the word you hear a lot, content. Content is all about your company and your stories. It includes anything that can be found online and in person by your clients, realtors, and referral partners, and can include your blogs, websites, social networks, videos, sales materials, emails, posters, pretty much anything and everything you produce to tell people about your business. Content, that's a word we hear a lot. In simple terms, content is all the ways you tell your story and express your brand personality on and offline. That's where your website and blog, Facebook and Twitter updates, and includes a YouTube video, a photo on Instagram, or digital ad. Content also includes non-digital assets like brochures, signage, sales material, trade show booths, and so on. And they all work together to give you and your customers a picture of your brand personality. The secret to creating great content is stepping into your customers' shoes and figuring out how you can help them. Start by writing down all the questions they ask and then group the questions into themes and prepare a 2-line answer for each. While you're doing this, imagine which format or platforms would work best for that particular subject and add it to your content calendar. For example, you can produce a simple video using your smartphone. Just remember to use a tripod to keep it steady. Get an external mic for a better sound and pay attention to framing and light. When it comes to social media content, remember the 3 Ps and things like a publisher to create the best story possible, a producer to add multimedia assets, and a publicist to get the word out. Then imagine how your story can play out over time on different platforms. You don't have to create everything yourself. You can curate content by discovering posts your audience may be interested in and sharing those. Just be sure you provide context and give credit by linking back to the original author. Who knows, maybe they'll notice your post and will link to you. When it comes to curated content, try to cut through the clutter so your audience doesn't have to. Follow these 3 simple steps: find, filter, and share. Find interesting stories, filter to make sure they're relevant, and share them to your network. The best content helps your customers and showcases your business's personality. And it's not about volume. It's relevance to your audience that counts, and that's the content 1-2 punch.
And real fast on that topic on content, it's Angela again. I had to say something about that. You know, I'm always on Facebook watching videos, and there's 2 particular individuals that I can't get enough of. And one, she's making cupcakes, and she's a loan officer. But it's comical, you know, she's making cupcakes, she's talking about, you know, closing this loan and that loan. And then the other one, he brings his family in. So he's got his adorable babies out in this, you know, old-fashioned wheelbarrow, and he's passing out flyers, you know. And so you just have to find that one thing that's entertaining and relatable, so that way everybody out there who doesn't know you can see that you're a genuine person. You're a genuine person out to help them with their business. And I think that's what speaks volumes when you watch videos like that. I mean, I know how to make cupcakes, but for that 8 minutes, because it was entertaining, I watched cupcakes, you know, and seeing those little boys pass out flyers, I mean, it melts your heart. And you see the dad spending quality time. So it brings it back to, you know, that we're all working together in home ownership and creating dreams. So I think if you stay genuine with your videos, like Tiffany mentioned, and you find a topic that you are taking, maybe you want to do down payment assistance, maybe you want to work with teachers, you know, firefighters, you know, any kind of, you know, I guess you'd say niche that you would like to get into, you know, you can expand on that and help people in the long run. So,
and really, your videos don't have to necessarily be loan related. They can show how you are a part of the community. I've seen videos and pictures and some articles published about loan officers who went out and put out flags at a cemetery on Veterans Day, showing how you give back and how you're a part of your community. But I think the biggest thing that has to happen with all that is that you have to be authentic with yourself. People can tell when you're creating videos and you're creating content and you're sharing information because you think it's what you should say or what you should do or what they want to hear. And really, it's a lot more impactful when you can see that there's a little bit of light in your eyes when I talk about it, and that there's a genuine smile, and that it really brings it down to the human element. It brings it away from being a corporate, for better or for worse, the mortgage industry has taken some black eyes over the years. I think we're past a lot of that. But it's so nice to be able to relate it just beyond big banks and beyond the word mortgage, interest rates, and bring it back to people.
Absolutely.
Thanks, ladies. Those are great examples. A couple other content, new things that have come just through the new digital age. You've probably heard the term SEO. It stands for Search Engine Optimization, or making your website or blog more findable in search. Often you'll work with a web designer to optimize your website, but then there are many things you can do, including understanding how to come up with the kinds of keywords and tags that answer your customers' questions. So what are keywords and tags, or hashtags for that matter? The terms keywords and tags can often be used interchangeably and are simply the words or phrases your customers are looking for. You include them in your social media posts in order to be discovered when people search these terms. Hashtags are those keywords that start with a number sign or hash symbol and are used to follow conversations or topics on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Unlike tags, different words and hashtags aren't separated by spaces. According to Zillow, there are 4 different types of hashtags that you should know in the real estate industry. 1, real estate tags. The top ones include hashtag real estate, hashtag house hunting, hashtag housing, hashtag realtor. Another one would be branding hashtags, where you could create your own. It would be hashtag your name or hashtag your company name. Even event hashtags. You can do hashtag open house, or I could do hashtag Laura's open house. And then lastly, we have bonus hashtags. These creatively worded hashtags to find tweets for potential clients who might want to buy or sell a home. Here are a few additional Twitter hashtags to consider. Hashtag want to move, hashtag buy my house. Hashtags can be overwhelming, but you can narrow the choices by familiarizing yourself with the hashtags most relevant to real estate and by identifying the ones your leads and clients are most interested in and talking about. Then you can use those hashtags in your own messages, content, and other lead generation efforts to connect with your target audience. Lastly, infographics are an example of visual storytelling that integrates text and graphics to paint a picture of an organization or illustrate a trend. Data visualization are when you take complex tables of data and turn them into things like pie charts or colorful graphs that are easier for people to grasp. Again, keep them simple so people can understand them on a mobile device. Now, I don't know about you, but finding the time to create content like this can be tough. So consider using tools and resources that you have available, such as CAR or NAR. Both realtor associations have a lot of great information that can be impactful for both your referral partners, realtors, and clients. Google Alerts is another avenue to help find content. Google Alerts can send emails from keywords you specify. You can even control how often you receive these messages so it's a little more manageable, such as just one Google or full email a day. That way you can see who's writing leadership pieces about your industry and also what the influencers are saying. Social media gives us an open window on what our customers are saying and a chance to connect with them and help them in new ways. But it takes patience, understanding, and above all, the ability to carefully listen. Here are a few topics, or a few ideas for topics you can start alerts on. Specific products, locations, competitors, organizations and groups, and even yourself to see what's going out about you. The more specific you can be up front, the better your results. Once you start receiving these emails, you can continue to tailor the results by flagging them as irrelevant if that particular result isn't what you're looking for, or unsubscribing if the keyword you choose are just not producing good results.
Because I know you and I use Google Alerts pretty much every day. We get several emails a day, and we use them to track Mountain West Financial, our brand, just to see what's going out that's not being necessarily created by us. Unfortunately, fortunately, most of what comes in there we're aware of and responsible for. But every once in a while we may see something going on that we didn't know about, which is a great news story for us, something that we can get some more traffic out of. We also watch all of our competitors on there just to see, what are they doing that we're not doing? Is there something else that we can implement? We also watch a lot of our products and programs. So we'll put out keywords for FHA just to see, and that one may be a little broad, obviously, but just to see what's going out in the market. And it took us a good, I would say, at least 6 months and a dedication to actually flagging things as irrelevant. And now, because of that, I think we get pretty clean results most of the time. So it's definitely a valuable tool, but it does take a little time to invest to get it narrowed down and so it's really, really working for you.
I definitely agree. Thanks, Laura. Okay, so whether it's via your website channels, you should always be looking to provide consistent value first and foremost. What content are you providing to your audience? It might be a blog, podcast, videos, whatever form that content takes, make sure it's consistent and valuable. Creating consistent and valuable content will help you gain credibility and authority in your industry or even your niche, which is important for your online growth and visibility. Providing value through the online communities you manage and on all of your social media channels is important for your online growth as well. What type of content or knowledge can you share with your community or followers that might not be your own content, but that will still bring value to them? A mix of 80-20 is a rule I like to follow. 80% of your content should be valuable without a direct sell. No more than 20% should be a direct sales pitch, as well as share other people's content 80% of the time and your own content 20% of the time. This will not only build trust with your followers, they'll start to recognize that you're not in it just for yourself. It will also help you build relationships with others in your industry or niche through sharing their content with your audience. It's also a great way to reach other followers who might not be interested in your content as well. Okay, so building relationships. Sometimes that's really important when you're trying to build an online presence is, of course, being seen. If no one knows you, then presumably they won't be looking for you on your website, on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so on. You want to find a group or online community that is made up of individuals who share the same interests or who run similar businesses in your industry or niche, and start building relationships with them through providing value and being an active member in their group. If you're just starting out, chances are these people are better connected than you are, and they might be able to help introduce you to others who are in your industry or niche. You should also find a group or a community of individuals who fit the description of your audience, because joining this type of community has the potential to give you priceless insights into what your biggest pain points are. Knowing this can help you pivot and create the exact content of your wants and needs. Again, always starting by adding value for others first. When entering a group or community, it's important for you to not advertise yourself or business. Once you start building strong relationships with others in your community, they'll naturally become interested in what you have going on, and you can start to share your content over time. Many people believe social media speeds up the relationship building process, and that's true to a point. Lasting relationships are built on trust, and that doesn't happen overnight. As they say, action speaks louder than words, and your behavior on social media platforms sets the tone for how your customers will behave with you. All relationships are based on give and take, something called reciprocal behavior. If I give you something, you're probably going to give me something in return. A simple example of this is holding the door open for a person. Chances are they'll say thank you. That's why you should always start a relationship by giving first, not taking. Instead of pouncing on your customers the moment they land on your website or content, ease them into it. Try to watch their behavior and then engage with them. Unlike many marketing channels, social media is two-way, which means you can actually chat with a customer or potential customer and they can respond. You don't want the first thing to come out of your mouth to be a marketing message. So how do you build relationships with clients? Here are 3 tips. The first, as mentioned before, is to help, don't sell. Put your clients first, otherwise they'll feel like they're a commodity. On social media, that means thanking them for a tweet, posting a helpful home improvement article, or reposting some of their content rather than broadcasting your own. Tip 2 is hard for many businesses to understand. That is, yes, they're you're there to make a profit, but don't ever use a hard sale on social media, and be careful with the pop-ups on your site. Don't scare people away when they first arrive. For the third tip, do something extra for your customers to show them how much you care. On social media, you can do that by writing a post on Facebook about all the wonderful charitable work your customers does in their spare time. Add a photo, and it really stands out. Relationships that go beyond a transaction can turn clients into long-term customers, and that takes an investment of your energy. Remember, social media may be fast, but long-lasting relationships still take time. Okay, here are a few tips to help optimize your business resources and time. Think ahead and get organized. You can't be everywhere, so you want to pick the channels your customers are on and where you can have the biggest impact. Then you should consider what type of content you'll create, how often you'll post, and what you'll do in case of an issue or crisis. Next, prepare a content calendar, a monthly schedule for your posts. Tying in seasonal events is also a good source of content. We've actually included a content calendar template as well as a content and idea template in the downloaded files that you can download to help you get started. You may also want to create a shared document with everyone on your staff so they can contribute links or ideas that can eventually be turned into social media updates. Make sure you have a place for the person's name and the idea, and whether that idea is a blog, a Facebook post, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, video, or a combination. Social media has made market intelligence do-it-yourself. That doesn't mean it's free. You still need to spend the time researching, analyzing, and discovering insights. But it's more accessible than ever before. The first step in doing this is listening to the conversations your referral partners and prospects are having, understanding what they're looking for, the problems they need to solve, and where your business can help them. But with this so much unfiltered noise on the internet and all the social media platforms, where do you start? I like to use a content management system or a CMS like Hootsuite. With Hootsuite, you can organize your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn profiles so they're all accessible from one place. From there, you can schedule updates, post to one or multiple social networks, respond to customers, conduct social listening, and see what's going on with your feeds, all from a single dashboard. A good CMS simplifies the way you can manage your social media marketing programs and allows you to actually set up your whole week or even longer on social media posts in just one sitting. It's easy to talk, harder to listen, and hardest of all to be careful listeners. To better understand the landscape, current and prospects and referral partners, and where the challenges and opportunities lie, you need to pay attention to the conversations your audience is having. Listening is a key part of research, and it wasn't long ago when the type of research was too expensive for most businesses. Consider joining realtor networking groups on Facebook, like Lab Coat Agents. What should I spend my money on? Raise the bar in real estate or not? While you may not necessarily be able to join in on the conversation, they can be great places to learn about the challenges and opportunities your realtors are facing.
And one of the things I can attest to, I'm actually members of all of those Facebook groups. There's really a lot of valuable insight and conversations, many of which, as a mortgage professional, I don't participate in. But it kind of peels back the curtain a little bit on realtors. So it helps us develop content for realtors. It also helps us then be able to provide value to our realtor partners. When we see some really great tips or great ideas, there's something that we can include in our newsletters. There's something that we can include when the revelasters are going out and calling on offices and help them get past the gatekeeper with something other than just asking for business. Truly a value add. So before social media, marketing your business was easier to do. While it's important to develop a social media marketing plan, nothing is set in stone. That's why you should always test and adapt your tactics and be prepared
to adjust your campaign in real time if your metrics tells you you're not heading where you want to go. Social media changed the speed of communication, gave us two-way interactivity, increased the number of channels we can use to spread news to our clients. You want to pay attention to how your marketing is being received and ask yourself the following questions. Are you getting the number of clicks, comments, and traffic that you expected? If not, do you know why? Are people reacting positively, negatively, or in a neutral manner to your content? How does this interactive compare to what you've done in the past? Then analyze the answers and determine whether or not you need to adapt. Be sure to limit the number of variables you test so you'll have a better idea of what's working and what's not. You might need to change the image or photo. Maybe the headline isn't catching people's attention, or perhaps it's a combination of the two. It's tough to predict what will catch on. Learn from past posts, stay open to making adjustments, and above all, test out various options before you go live. And be prepared to listen to what your customers are saying and turn on a dime. That way you'll have a better chance at social media marketing success. One of the biggest benefits of social media is that it's trackable. Using services like Google Analytics, the platform many businesses use to measure online marketing results. You can determine if your content is resonating with the people you're trying to reach or whether you need to adjust. But you don't just dive into the metrics mid-campaign. You have to decide what you're measuring up front and how you're going to measure it, and that takes planning. These are just two ways to measure your social media program, and you can track the results back to the goals and objectives you established in your social media marketing plan. As with most everything you do, don't overcomplicate and try to keep your social media measurement as simple as you can. Every single week, I look at the number of likes we have on Facebook, the number of Twitter followers we have, how many circles we're a part of in Google+. If you're not tracking these types of things, you won't be able to recognize trends or identify why a large spike in traffic or a decreased number of visitors may have happened. It's important to test different things and figure out what's working best for you. For example, guest posting is a great way to get your name out there, build relationships with other bloggers, and show people the value you have to offer. Guest posting could result in increased traffic in your website, a strong backlink, and a lot of social love, but only if they're tracking these things. Being able to track your online presence may not necessarily help you with ROI, but it will help you establish what is working for your business and what's not. So after listening to today's webinar, you know how important social media can be to connect with your customers, grow your company, and achieve your goals. And like everything, doing it well takes time. Start by listening to what your customers are talking about and asking key strategic questions like what social platforms are your customers on? When and where would they connect with you? What types of content can you produce better than anyone else? And how can you engage your team? This will help establish your goals. Make sure to develop a plan to start building a strong platform by creating consistent and valuable content, establish a presence on social media, and build meaningful relationships online. Momentum will be on your side. Then determine which metrics you're going to use to measure success. Discover your hidden talents and get everyone involved, contributing ideas for your content. You don't have to be everywhere online, but you do have to be somewhere online. Like your business, social media is not a social activity. Think of social media marketing as another touch point to engage your customers. Use it to help them, and you can bet they'll help you. And that's the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
So one of the things I wanted to bring up just before we were done is that, kind of to add the fine print here, I hate to put a damper on today, but by bringing up compliance, but we do need to take just a moment to remind you that social media is considered advertising, just like a flyer, your website, if you were to do something like a radio campaign. So remember, when building your social media content, you need to keep in mind that it does need to comply with RESPA, TILA, UDAP, Fair Lending, and any other acronyms you want to throw out there. I know most of us on the line today do good business, and we do it the right way. So you don't want to put yourself knowingly in unnecessary risk by posting things that you know just are not flat out compliant. So, like I said, I hate to put a damper, but needed to put that little fine print out there.
Okay, so questions. I do have a couple. The first comes from Joel Ariano, and he's asking, what are the costs of a basic social media program?
I know something like Hootsuite, which is what Tiffany was talking about, which is not a social media program, but it helps you manage all of your different social media platforms, post content, pre-schedule. I want to say up to 5.
I want to say it's 5. If you have up to 5 social networks, it's actually no charge. But if you have more than that, then there's
$15.99 out of
very nominal charge.
But that's one of the best tools that we've used to be able to manage multiple social media channels, make timely posts on the weekends, on nights when we're not here. We really utilize that CRM to do the hard work and heavy lifting for us.
And our next question comes from Daniel Biella. He's asking, can you give us a written list of those groups?
Yeah, you know what, I will work on typing some of those into the chat box while we wait. Do you have any other questions right now?
That's the last question.
Okay, so if you guys want to keep typing questions in, we do have just one more poll for you as we wrap this up. And we want to know which of the tools that we learned about today are you most able to and excited to implement? Would it be Google Alerts, hashtag, your CMS suite in our case? I know there's a couple other CMSs out there as well. So definitely do your homework on that, or the content calendar that's provided in the handout. And just remember, as you guys are looking, make sure that you download those handouts. So we give you guys a couple seconds. Let me try and write some of those in here while we're
I don't see any other questions coming over.
All right, we've still got a couple answers in our poll, so we'll close that down here in just a second.
Actually, Joel Ariano asked, what if we would like to add 3 smiley face?
That would be great, Joel.
Use them all. You know, one of the things is, again, make sure that you don't take on more than you're willing to commit to. Social media, although it is relatively inexpensive in money, it does definitely take time and it takes some resources. And I know Tiffany mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, but having a blank or a page on the internet that you are not committed to maintaining can actually have negative impacts on your business, as it looks neglectful, or it looks like maybe you don't know what you're doing, or that you're just not connected, or maybe that you're out of business because you haven't posted something in 12 months. So keep that in mind. 2 to 3 social media platforms is a great idea, and then using 2 or 3 of these tools that we've shown you guys today. That's just going to help make it a little bit easier for you as well. So are you guys able to see the poll results?
I cannot.
Okay. So let me close this poll out. It looks like we have a lot of them answered. And let me share those results with you. So it looks like 31% like Google results, 23% like hashtags, 31% like the CMS. Again, Hootsuite's the one we use, but there are several others out there, so do your research. And 15% like that content calendar. One last reminder, make sure that you download that content calendar and the topics list from the end, if you don't mind, from the handout section on your webinar.
And actually, if you go to that side panel and you drop down polls, you'll be able to see everything. So you should be able to see the percentages that Laura just mentioned.
And in the chat are those 4 realtor networking groups that I mentioned. I know there's more out there, but I can tell you I'm a member of all 4 of those, and they're all pretty active. Right. Hide that.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. This is a part 2 of our 6th series of setting yourself up for success. In February, we're going to have productivity tips by myself, Angela Perez, on the 14th from 2 to 3 p.m. And then next after that will be cybersecurity awareness. So with that, I hope everyone enjoyed our presentation. And if you'd like to register for an upcoming webinar, please know that if you drop down the handout section, I put in a PDF of the training schedule. Just click on the topic you would like to register and attend. If you missed our previous training, know that you can click on there and you actually go into our wholesale website, and the video recording is posted in there. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I'd be happy to reach out to you and respond. So we have some other things coming in right now. I thought we were done with questions. So we do have one saying thank you. You're welcome, Daniel.
Last but not least, on the screen here, I just wanted to point you guys out to our contact information. Webinars is our general contact information that you can email us at any time and ask questions, as well as Tiffany and my contact information and our moderator, Angela. So I think with that,
I think that's Dan. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.